The Safire Baynesfield Classic is proudly presented by Safire Insurance, your blue chip insurer, in association with Chaka, keeping your bright fires burning. To say it was a chilly morning, I guess, was a bit of an understatement. But when you're down in the Baynesfield Valley, just south of Pietermaritzburg, I guess that's to be expected. The Safire Baynesfield Classic attracts riders, runners and families from all over. The setting and the promise of great memories to be made also add to the huge expectations of a great day out in the country. Registration with the efficient ROEG team is always the first order of the day.
65 Ks, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough race, but let's give it a go and see what happens.
Good, bit cold. But it's going to take a bit of time for the bones to warm up. But yeah, I think it's going to be a nice day. See a little bit of blue sky peeking through over there. So yeah, no, looking forward to it.
Joseph Baines would have been 174 years old this year. He started life as a butcher with no formal education, riding all over Natal buying cattle, fattening them up and then selling them from his butchery in Durban. He built Baines House in 1882 and is most famous as the first farmer to dip cattle. Later, another first for Baines and South Africa was the building of the first butter factory, which is now the Dairy Museum. The first refrigeration room in Natal was built next, sitting adjacent to the butter factory, and today houses the Natal Vintage Tractor and Machinery Club Museum. Joseph Baines died in July of 1925, leaving behind a 23,000-acre estate in a trust that all of us can enjoy today. This year's event again included the 10, 20, 45 and 65-kilometer MTB routes. Also on the race card was the ever-popular trail running event. – 2016 sees a number of male and female racing snakes on the 65-kilometer start line, like Ewan Cochran, Andrew Johnson and Nathan Treble. Even Burry's brother, Dwayne Stunder, made an appearance. Also in the mix was Frankie du Toit, doing her first 65-kilometer Safire Baynesfield Classic.
It's always very bunched in the beginning until you get to, there's a first punchy climb after the dam. I tried to force the pace in the beginning to try and break it up, but it didn't work out. So yeah, I just sat up and waited for the Baynesfield breaker to see who was around and what we could do.
The first small climb of the day, and Brandon Stewart, Werner Mullman and Darren Smith pushed the pace. The Baynesfield breaker appears not long after the start, and literally sets the men and the boys apart with its 7-kilometer ascent. With no time to waste, Brandon and Leroy put the hammer down, leaving Darren to head up the chase group. Sadly, there was no stopping for a chat at the well-stocked Chaka water point at the top of the climb. Leroy and Brandon continue to put in the hurt as the course flattens out. Although an equally chilly start for our trail runners, Owen Bengo and Neville Mutiewa were all smiles for our camera guy.
Let's get going. 3, 2, 1, off we go. There's our trail run underway.
The trail runners leave the Baynesfield Club in the beautiful orange glow of the rising sun, making their way through the trees along the district road. The field thins out quite quickly as the runners head off to enjoy the carefully prepared single track crafted by trail guru Nick Flores. Well done to Mdu Zondi, taking the win with Sizwe in second and Owen in third. Steph Pons won the ladies' trail race with Nicole and Naomi in second and third place respectively.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day to be out here again. We thought that the weather was going to be a bit of a problem. I mean, we had some heavy storms and very cold weather yesterday, but it turned out to be a beautiful day.
You know, it's interesting being on the other side of the fence for a change and being involved more in the, in the events, organisation of the events. And but there's a lot of people to thank for this Baynesfield Estates with Miles van Deventer, Ross Norton here from the club, that give us access to these great facilities. And without them, none of this would be possible. And also just to all the the riders and the families that come out here and enjoy the special day with us. Safire is a very family-orientated company and focus on making a great day out for everybody. And as well, Safire staff, all the crew that help us. There's a lot of energy and a lot of focus that goes into the event. And it's just a great day for us.
Chaka sponsored Waterpoint 1, and they certainly did more for the riders than just keep their fires burning. Safire's CEO, Pierre Becker, agrees.
It's great to have Chaka here sponsoring us again, keeping our dry fires going as they did last year, especially on a chilly day like today. And we really appreciate them and the effort they've put into helping us out in this event. Great to get a buoy roll on the course. And also, I think a lot of people come out here. Obviously, we've got the racing snakes and they're going ahead, but a lot of people sort of just do the course and enjoy the scenery and have fun while they're doing it. That's what's great about the sport is that there's a little bit for everyone.
How's it going? Are you ready?
Yes.
The Safire Baynesfield Classic offers a number of race options, with the 10 and 20 kilometer becoming quite popular with the kids and some who are a little bigger. Swapping the PlayStation for a mountain bike is more than all the moms and dads could have hoped for on this family outing.
tried to make the 20K a little bit easier and a little bit more fun, just so that we could encourage the younger kids. And I mean, they are the future of what we're about, and it's good for them to be able to come out and enjoy it as much as what the parents do. And I think if the kids are enjoying it, and the parents will enjoy it as well. So, and then the kids will always ask to come back, which is great.
Not everyone can do the long 65-kilometer hauls up the hills, so we just give them a little taste of what it's like, and it's usually the youngsters, so when they grow up they can come and challenge the big course. And it's nice to see everyone, all the families around here, chilling and just enjoying the day.
Well done to Travis Stedman taking the 20-kilometer win, with Chad Stevenson in second and Campbell van Rooyen in third. Sabine Thies won the ladies' 20-kilometer, with Kerry Campbell in second and Ingrid Flint in third.
Done this race probably the last 4 years. It's always one of the better ones to come to, well marked, well organised. Mixture of trail and dirt road is really good, so it's a bit of a mix of everything. So it suits some of the guys that are good at climbing, some of the guys are good at technical stuff. So yeah, it's always a good one, and definitely one to come out and race every year. This race is always won or lost on the first climb. I know the guys that always get away there every year, you never see them again. So the goal was to stay in touch with whoever was in front going up the first climb, and that worked out pretty well.
After some time alone off the front, the pair of Stewart and Emsley catch a glimpse of the chasing group, headed up by Darren Smith and Brennan Anderson, a relative newcomer to the racing game. The pace heats up as the gap narrows to barely a few hundred meters. Eventually, the chasing group shatters as Darren changes gear into ultimate hurt mode, forcing Brennan to hang on for dear life.
Going into the Baynesfield breaker, I was fourth, I think. Leroy and Brandon they had broken away. Thankfully, I've ridden the race a few times, so I know what to expect. For me, being a small guy, long climb suits me. So I knew that coming up, I could just sort of sit back and wait for it to arrive, and I did. And then I just rode a constant pace the whole way up, and I managed to bridge across to Leroy and Brandon, and then myself and Leroy just kept riding the same pace, and we managed to get away from Brandon. And then from then on, it was just the two of us together. We worked hard because we know Brandon likes to come back in the middle of a race, and I just said to him, we must just keep going and let's push the pace, force the pace to the second water point, and that's what we did.
Teamwork at the front end of the 65-kilometer classic sees Emsley and Smith opening a big gap to Stewart. Well done to the king of the mountain, Darren Smith. In the ladies' 65-kilometer race, Frankie du Toit was untouchable. Last time Frankie rode at Baynesfield, she finished first in the 45-kilometer option in a time of 2 hours and 4 minutes. Here, she is taking the Queen of the Mountain almost 10 minutes ahead of her closest rival.
So in the 45, you turn off halfway up the Baynesfield breaker. So I was looking at the turn off quite enviously this year, but it was cool. We got to ride much more out that way, which I've never done before. So it was nice to see good riding, and yeah, it's tiring because it's a fast race, but yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the step up.
back at the sharp end of the men's 65 kilometre. Leroy is making short work of the awesome Baynesfield single track.
Darren dropped me a little going over the top of the King of the Mountains. We ended up back together down the trail. I think he slowed down a bit. It was always good to have somebody with you going along a lot of district road. And yeah, we worked well together, kept the pace nice and high.
We know each other quite well because we spend a lot of time riding different races here in KZN together, and we've teamed up on a few occasions in stage races, so we do know each other, we know each other's strengths and stuff, so it does help. We just kept the same pace, the same tempo the whole way through, and thankfully the guys that were third and fourth couldn't bridge across to it.
As they say, all work no play makes Jack a dull boy, as Leroy shows off some of his moves. The scenery and the single track live up to all expectations, as the pair reduce the race to just a few kilometers to go.
Are going to make the biggest sprint to the finish here. Emsley crossing the line in first place. Well done, guys.
Today was good. I'm happy to get the win. Racing with Darren was good. We've done a few races together before, stage races. We're looking to team up again at one or two other ones coming up in the season, so it was a nice little race together, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It's good fun racing.
All in all, it was a very good day, and the route and everything very well marked. You weren't looking to see where you're going and whatever, so the water points, not that we stopped, but just flashing through, you could see that they were very well run. So you got the guys from Safire always put on a very good show. Yeah,
it was obviously tough, just running around this morning and not really being like kind of relaxed and focused on the actual racing part of it. But I just thought it would be quite nice to race our own events, and yeah, so it was fun. I mean, it was great to come third and to be on the podium, and yeah, it was a very nice day out. I was very chuffed.
Looking at the leaderboard, it's official. Leroy Emsley in first, with Darren Smith and Brandon Stewart in second and third place. Well done to all the winners. In the 45-kilometre race, the pace was equally as fast, and the trail just as awesome, seeing the riders eating up the single track as quick as they can to get to the finish. Towards the end, what seemed a close 1-2 turned into a solo race to the line for Dean Wortman. Dean topped the 45-kilometre leaderboard in 1 hour 50:25, with Sian Leverage in second and Ryan Nordia in third. Well done to the top 10. Next, it was prize giving, with Safire CEO Pierre Becker doing all the honours. It was a one-woman show in the ladies' 65-kilometre race, with Frankie du Toit out front alone and at full taps.
There wasn't such a big turnout in the ladies' field, which was quite disappointing, but I kept to my race plan, which is to stick with the guys for as long as possible, because I know the start for this race is very fast. I got into a nice rhythm and I kept it right to the end, which was great.
Frankie du Toit coming across the line, winning the 65-kilometre ladies today.
This race specifically, it's a nice race to do because it's not that technical. It's a good race to do if you're a beginner. Like my sister and her varsity friend, they don't ride at all. Well, very limited. and they did, and they loved it. So it's great to get more girls on bikes, and obviously we need that. And yeah, this race is perfect for that because it's conducive to beginners, which is great, yeah.
Prize giving was all smiles as the ladies lined up for their chance on the podium next to Safire CEO Pierre, who appeared to be the rose amongst the thorns. Christy Lee Heerder was the winner in the ladies' 45 kilometer, with Tiffany Keep in second and Sabrina van Wyk in third. In the ladies' 65, Frankie de Toy topped the list in first, with Cindy Tjernison in second and Natalie Bergstrom in third. Let's show you why exactly you're putting the race in next year's diary.
My baby wrote me a letter. She said nothing's gonna be the same. Oh, oh, oh. I thought that things had gotten better. I thought that she was coming home again. Oh, oh, oh. But I'm not alone. I'm going out with a girl called Radio. My mind is on my girl called Radio. Good God, I thought that I would miss her. Goodbye to all those pointless games. Oh, oh, oh. I used the back of a letter to write another song to sing. Oh, oh, oh. 'Cause I'm not alone. I'm going out with a girl called Radio. My mind is on my girl called Radio. 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 I got a girl.
So I hope that's enough to convince you to bring a friend, a family member, or even your girlfriend. Just don't forget a great attitude. And we'll see you at the 2017 edition of the Safire Baynesfield Classic. The Safire Baynesfield Classic was brought to you by Safire Insurance, your blue chip insurer, in association with Chaka, keeping your bright fires burning.